Hi there, this is Tammy with Tammy's Stamping Therapy. I have had a lot of people ask me how I made these flowers. I showed these flowers last week, I think. Not this flower, this one I've had longer than that, but I showed a whole bunch of flowers that I made. This was one of them. And people wanted to know how they were made. They're really easy to make, but getting started can cost a little bit. So let me show you. Funny, it's got one of those little doodads stuck on there. Let me show you how these are made. I absolutely love them. I think they are so pretty. So these flowers are made with the die stamp and die set from Heartfelt Creations. This is the stamp set. It's called Large Wild Rose. I also have the Small Wild Rose. So the first thing that I'm going to do is show you how I do them before I cut them out. I have a half a sheet of cardstock here. This is like a stamping thing going on too. And some colors. The first thing I'm going to do, this stamp set comes with, the Large Wild Rose comes with a large and a medium, or a not as large, flower and a leaf. To make this flower, I used 2 large ones and one of the smaller size, plus 2 leaves. So I'm going to first stamp this largest flower twice. I'm using Stampin' Up's plain Whisper White cardstock. It's not very thick, but it's really nice cardstock. Might be a 65-pound weight. So I'm going to stamp this twice. If you remember from my 101 videos, stamping is firm, even pressure. Hold it for a few seconds and then lift. And I need one of the other one. And I'm going to change colors. This is Gorgeous Grape. The leaf I'm going to stamp in Shaded Spruce. One there. One there. So that's all the stamping. This is for one flower. This kind of flower, not that one. And then I'm going to color them. So I'm taking, for the center, I'm going to color it with Mango Melody and a sponge dauber. And to do that, I'm just going to go like this. And I want to go a little bit up into the petals because I want you to see it when the flower is done. You want to see a little bit of that yellow. So that's the Mango Melody. Then I'm going to take Highland Heather, which is a slightly lighter color, purple. And there's no precision to this. You're just adding a little bit of color to the tips of the flowers. Some of them can be darker than others. You can do better. Like if I wasn't trying to do this for a video, my blending into the edge would be a lot better than I'm doing here, but that's okay. The end result is going to be pretty anyway. So that's that. Then I'm going to color the leaves with Old Olive. Don't need a lot of color, just want to add some color to it. So that is it for stamping. This is going to make one flower. Then you're going to use the Large Wild Rose die set. It comes, their packaging is interesting. This is the back. It comes like this. They don't put, I put the magnet sheet in there. They have it taped on this pink card. But it comes in this plastic sleeve. So you can store it just like this. And then the stamp sets have this card. The stamp one has holes in it. The stamps go on here. It goes in this envelope. Not an envelope, but And then it goes like that, and then I store these guys together. So I think that's pretty cool. And then the other piece is the shaping mold. This is why I say it can get a little spendy. This is called their shaping mold, one of their shaping molds. Large 3D wild rose shaping mold. I don't know why I keep putting those back in the package, because they don't need to be. This is what it looks like. It has 2 pieces, and I'm going to show you how to use it. Funny thing is, to make the flower, I use 2 big flowers and 1 small flower. This mold has 2 smaller flowers and 1 big flower. So I'm going to have to run it through twice. So that's the stamped images. I have already done that and die cut them out. I want to set these somewhere for a second. I'm going to place these in here. And it's not precise, like this isn't it's kind of the shape of the flower, but not exactly the shape of the flower, so knowing if you got it in the right one, I can't ever tell exactly, but it doesn't matter. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to have to do this twice. And this flower, or this leaf, jumped. I use a magnetic plate. It jumped. So I'm going to just trim it. When it's all put together, you're not going to be able to tell that it was cattywampus. So I'm going to leave it like that. And I'll put that one there, that one there, and see, this one's too big, so I'm going to have to do this twice. I should have already done one of them, and I didn't. Okay, then, before I do that, I'm going to get a towel. I'm going to set... Sorry, I should have cleaned off my desk before I started this. If you could see my desk, this is the only clean spot on my desk. So I'm having a hard time finding places to put things. I have a spray bottle of water, and I'm going to, from a little bit of a distance, I usually have this in my lap, but I want you to see it. I'm going to spray it a couple of times. So it's got a pretty good wetness going. And then I'm going to put this on top of it. Technically, you probably could just do this to press it, but I haven't tried that yet. And I know this is really close for you. I don't have a choice in how high my camera goes, so you'll get the idea. So I'm sandwiching this between my 2 clear plates. It's the same size as the block. And, oh, I really should have had some already done, but more done. Then you take this out and look at this. You see how they're shaped? I'm going to dump those out. I'm going to put my other one in here. Spray bottle. So I sprayed that. Put this on top. Run it through. Hopefully nothing's going to fall on the floor over there. I really have no place to set things. So, these, clean up my extra water. I don't want to get this any wetter than it already is. These are my pieces. And what I did is and I'm not sure how this is going to work because they're still wet before I let them dry. So we'll see what happens with this flower. I'm going to put glue in there, and I want to offset this, and these flowers have one petal that's unique like that. I don't want them to be together. Oh, that's a small one. I don't want glue in there. No, it's right. That's right, it's the same size. So I want to, see, there it is right there. I don't want them the same. And so I want this offset a little bit. Oh, and one thing I forgot to bring. I have an actual flower mat, which would work better than this. This is the Stampin' Pierce mat that Stampin' Up! Has, and it's not as cushy, but it'll be okay. So then I'm going to go like this, and this is still wet, so it's giving me a little bit of trouble. It's not working exactly the way I want, but that's okay. Put glue in there. So there's two large ones that are put together, and now I'm putting in the medium-sized one. I want a bigger one because I can't. Usually I would be going like this. I can't do that on here because this is all wet, and that will mess it up. So if I go like this, this will work. So it pushes the center down in, and it adds a little more shape to your flower. And then I took the leaves, just put a little bit of glue on here to glue those two leaves together. And then I'm going to put glue on here and stick this. I usually look at the flower and see where it has like a spot. Put that there. So there's my flower. The next thing that I do, which I'm not going to show on camera, this really needs to be dry before I do that, but the next thing I do is I take this same glue and I fill up the center, and then I take these flower pearls from Dress My Craft. I have 3 different ones. I have gold and purple and white, and they're lots of fun. And this one, because it's a purple flower, I'll most likely put the gold in there, and I just open this up when I have the glue in it. Take a little spoonful and dump it in there, and I put in way more than I want, and I set them aside, which you saw the tray I had them on last week. Set them aside and wait for them to dry. And then I dump the excess back into my little things, and I've made a bunch of flowers, and this is still more than half in there. And then the last step that I do is, and you can see, remember how imprecise I was in my, like there's definite lines there? Because I'm spritzing it with water, it kind of blurs the lines, because this one looked like that too. The ink will bleed a little bit, and it just makes it really soft. So this is one I did a couple weeks ago, and this one I need to fix the center. It looks like I should have grabbed a different one. This one has a better center, but this one is made with colored cardstock. This one's made with white cardstock. So you can see the center, I put the little pearls in there. So these flowers, it's kind of funny. I keep seeing people do these Spellbinders hauls, and they're getting all this stuff that's made by Fun Stamper's Journey. Fun Stamper's Journey used to be a direct sales company like Stampin' Up! And close to my heart. And they were started by a man who partnered with Spellbinders. A few years ago, I heard that partnership went by the wayside, and now Spellbinders keeps having their Fun Stamper's Journey stuff on clearance. The funny thing about it to me is several years ago, I left Stampin' Up! To sell Fun Stamper's Journey. So I have a ton of Fun Stamper's Journey stuff. And why I said all that is because this is the glitter I used. When I did these, I used this glitter. Not this one exactly, because it's bigger. These are, see how these are bigger chunks? I thought I pulled it out. I don't know where I put it. Anyway, that's what I used on here. It's a little bit bigger chunks, but Fun Stamper's Journey. That's really weird. Oh, I know where it is. Maybe. I'm so sorry. This is the one I used. So this is called Sparkle Cuts, and this is called Sparkle Dust. You see the difference? So this is quite a bit bigger glitter, and you can see I ended up with some of the little flower center gem stuff in there. So what I did with this is I took my silicone mat and I put some of this glue on it. This is my, I want to say Gorilla Glue, but that's not right. What is it called? My reptile glue. Gorillas, reptiles, you know. So I put that. I'm going to grab one of the other ones that's dry. I don't want to do that to this flower because it's wet. So I took one of these flowers and I went like this with the glue. And I feel like I'm not doing this part very well. We'll see. I need a coffee filter. And then I put it in the coffee filter. And sprinkled the glitter all over it. And I didn't put any on the leaves yet, but so I did that and then I let it dry. And it comes out like this. And this. So then today I did something different. Today I took this one, which is one of the ones that was sitting in the other room, and I used, sorry, the cat just upset the dog. I used Stickles on here. So let me show you the difference between the two. This one has the glitter, the Fun Stampers Journey glitter. This one has Stickles. They're both really pretty. I'm curious to know which one you like best. One thing that the ink does, you can see the Stickles I used is diamond, I think. Crystal. I used crystal. But this ink, even though this flower was made a week ago, the ink can still bleed. So when I put the Stickles on the leaf, it picked up that shaded spruce ink and colored the Stickles. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm curious. I need to glitter the rest of my flowers that I made last week. I'm curious what you think about glitter versus Stickles. I kind of like them both, so maybe I'll do some of each. You can see also on here, this turned the Stickles pink. So I'm curious what you think. I would like your opinion. Please comment below on which kind of sparkle you like better. This flower is made using the small wild rose set, which is this. So this has 2 clusters of 3 flowers, 1, 2, and then so these are all smaller. And then the die set that goes with this is, yes, this is the die set that goes with it. So it's got a matching die for each of those. I haven't put a magnet on here. I don't like tape with my dies. And then let me show you the mold. This is the flower mold. So it'll do 1 of the biggest size and 2 of the next size and 2 of that size and or 3 of that size and a bunch of little ones. So the these flowers that I made, they look really complicated. They're really easy, and it's just a little bit expensive. I have these 2 whole sets, the large and the small wild rose. I have the stamps, dies, and molds. I bought, plus I have, which I haven't tried yet, I have this one that's just, it says 3D Floral Basics Shaping Mold. It's not for any particular stamp set. Heartfelt Creations does have a couple of other stamp sets that have matching molds that go with them. This one can be used supposedly with any flower to give it some dimension. You can kind of see there. So I need to try this with some flowers and see how that turns out. These sell, I think, for like $29.99 a piece, and I can't remember how much the stamps and dies are, but I have 3 molds, 2 stamp and die sets. I bought them over a 3-month period of time, so I didn't buy it all at once. But to me, it's so worth it because I can shape flowers using other tools, and I'm going to do a video on that too, probably next week sometime. But you saw how easy this was. Stamp it, color it, die cut it, and then stick it in that mold, and you have this beautiful flower. A lot less work. I do have arthritis in my hands, so the other way to do flowers is harder for me. I would never be able to do the whole tray of flowers that I had. I'll go get it and show it to you. All of these flowers, which I can't get it down low enough, I made these in one morning last week. Last week I took Thursday off, so I had an extra day off. And that morning I made those flowers. I had them done by, that's like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours worth of work making all those flowers. And look how beautiful they are. I'm working on a binder mail embellishment book for Rosa Kelly's challenge, and that's why I started making these flowers. I only needed a few, and as you see, I got carried away, so I can finish the few that I need to make the book, and I can finish the rest later if I need to, but they're just so pretty. This is still damp, so this is going to have to sit for a little while. But it did shape very nicely. So, let me know what you think about the 2 different glitters, sparkles. I really don't like glitter because since I did this, there's going to be glitter on me for a week. There'll be glitter on my dogs. There'll be glitter in the kitchen. I don't know how you're supposed to clean up glitter once you've used it and not have it be everywhere for a week. I've never learned that, but maybe someday I'll learn it. So I didn't get quite enough glue on here. I need to put more glue on it. I should have spread it out a little bit maybe, because there's not very much that's stuck on there. So we'll see. I do like this glitter, this big glitter, but I also like this one. So I'm also curious, do you like the big flower or the small flower better? Some of the big flowers I did that were on the tray I just showed you, I took this flower and I added some of the smaller pieces to it, so I kept layering it up. So let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone has a fabulous day.